All right, to this day, and we're almost a month out from the election, Democrats, notably the President of the United States, saying it's not really their fault. Certainly it's not his fault. Might be a case of a lot of people watching Fox in bars across the country. But I always wondered about that. Maybe it's because they're drinking because they're depressed about the economic policies in this country. I joke to make a point. No one acknowledging that maybe in the Democratic Party, they were part of the problem, maybe a big chunk of it, maybe all of it. To the Independent Women's Forum's Sabrina Schaefer, College Republicans National Co-Chair Alexander Smith, Democratic strategist Brad Gersman, on if the left is out of touch. Now, Brad, you are the last person who's out of touch, so I'll ask you this. Do you think the president is, by not even acknowledging that his legacy he campaigned on and that Hillary Clinton, he said, should continue, was rejected by voters?
I don't know that it's so much about the president being rejected by voters as it was independent and specific to Hillary Clinton, who had absolutely no message whatsoever and was a terrible candidate from the get-go. I mean, she almost lost this thing to Bernie Sanders, who's a socialist. So I think the Democratic Party doesn't have to scratch their head for very long or, do a long-term brain dump on this. This is a Hillary Clinton failure and defeat. And it was solidly done, and it should just tell her that it's over.
And just leave it at that. Well, Sabrina, the reason why I asked is that let's say you buy that for a lot of this. She was a bad campaigner. She barely did survive Bernie Sanders, and if not for superdelegates, might not have at all. But if those policies were so great and she represented continuing them, then she would have won the electoral vote. Now, in these battleground states where they had most on the line, and some of them were dicey economically, they went to Donald Trump.
Right. Look, I mean, I think that there is a little bit more going on here than simply that Hillary Clinton was a failed candidate. I think that it's interesting that Nancy Pelosi was just reelected because if you remember, I mean, she famously said when we were talking about Obamacare that we have to wait to see the bill before we know, if we're going to like it or not. She wants the American people to have this blind faith in government, and that is what I think so many voters were voting against. It wasn't whether they weren't voting against sort of Democrats or Republicans. They were voting against this idea of large government and these progressive policies that have massive trade-offs, whether we're talking about health care or labor policies or trade policies. People are beginning to catch on to that, and that's what I think they were responding to.
Alexander, for college Republicans, the view has been that, now this is just what we wanted. We're going to get Republicans controlling things. But I think what you learned from the Democrats' fall from grace, and prior to that, the Republicans' fall from grace, and prior to that, the Democrats' fall from grace, is that if they're not careful, they too shall fall from grace. How do they avoid that?
Absolutely. I think that Republicans benefited from the fact that this was a change election, and we happen to have change on our side of the ballot this year. But just in 2 short years or in 4 years, that could easily change. And so I think that if the Democrats really want to take a hard look about what happened this year, they're going to have to do some real soul searching like the Republicans did after 2012. Unlike these snowflakes on campus, I didn't need Play-Doh, I didn't need a safe space or a therapy dog to get through the day. Instead, groups like ours, the College Republican National Committee, went to work and we put out a whole report diagnosing where we went wrong with young voters. We've worked tirelessly over the last 4 years to make sure that young voters didn't once again cost our party the election. So instead of blaming Fox News and yelling at the opposing team's campaign operatives at the Harvard IOP event, Democrats should take some time to really reflect about what went wrong.
Maybe just me, but I try as I might. Now, maybe here it's a little different. I don't see Fox News playing anywhere outside of a monitor outside this building. But that's just me. And it is Manhattan, so I should keep that in mind. Guys, thank you very, very much. Great seeing you.
Thank you so much, Neil.